Definitely on Meg. Go ahead. What's your favorite part about this episode?
I don't know.
There was Dexter.
All right.
Oh, Gracie's got more of a voice in this
We are live.
than. Are we?
Yes, we are live. Let me check the stream.
Okay, we're live. I've got to watch what I say now. Gotta be careful. Nothing offensive. Don't fucking ruin this. I mean,
I have to check my audio because I think we're all good. Dun, dun, dun. Whoa.
That's unpredicted. I can't do nothing about that.
Oh, don't I know it? That's live. All right. I'm going to check the stream, just make sure we're okay.
I'm about to say this part we can edit out. So,
I'm going to check the stream, just make sure we're okay.
Can you send me the link for the chat?
Yes, I can. We have
'Cause I
no
would
we have
like
no
to.
viewers, by the way, so there's literally no one watching us. I'm sending you the.
For every ghost viewer that's watching us right now, that was a joke, by the way.
Let's see here. Let me put out the links while we.
Um,
What happened?
okay, I thought my notes got deleted by accident. I was like, no. All right.
Oh, isn't there a link here I can get? Pull up.
What's wrong, baby girl? Oh, Jennifer.
Hey.
Hi, Jennifer.
It's a little weird when they can't respond.
Yeah, it's like I'm kind of like, it's like I feel like I'm talking to nobody, but I'm obviously not talking to nobody.
Right. All right. I'm going to post these links to wherever, and then I guess we could just get right into it. Depending, I don't know how I'm going to do regarding episode 2.
Okay.
I guess let's just see how we go because it's already 9:45.
Okay.
But whatever, we'll see.
Let's just do episode 1. That's it. Let's just do 1.
And then we could even try it again tomorrow, but let me post this on Dig and Dexter. I'm here. Hi, guys. What's up, Jen?
I say since we're getting started a little late, I think just doing 1 episode for this first one is fine.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't have to make it a big event. Like, we can just... Because, I mean, like what I was trying to say is, and I guess, Jen, since you're here, this is our business meetings, how we do it. We Zoom anyway, so this extra step of, like, streaming it is, like, whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do all of this, bro.
We are doing good, Jennifer. She's saying she's at work.
Oh,
so
how cool.
At least we're hopefully keeping you company at work, so that's good.
That's honestly the best compliment. I forgot. Someone reached out recently and was, I think they said like, "Oh man, excited to hear your thoughts on season 8," and it's like, yeah, that's like all I want. Like just someone to want me. I'm like Dexter, and the audience is Vogel. I just want
That's
you to
actually-
want me.
It's actually a really good analogy.
All right, this is. All right, there. Yeah, that's.
So much spit on this from Grace.
Oh no. Let me tell you, we had a day. The reason why my whole day's messed up, I had this all lined up and everything. What happened? Maurice took it. We went to the beach today, but we get
Oh, nice.
there's like this bar by this beach that we go to, and we both
Mhm.
got a beer, and I haven't drank.
You and Maurice? Nice.
Dude, I have not drank. I've had probably 4 beers this year, and I've had 3 this week. So it came home. It was nap time. I was so shot. Me and Maurice both took like an hour and a half nap, but he goes to bed at like 7:30. He woke up from his nap at 6:30. I know, and you have to be like a parent, and I'm pretty sure Jennifer is, and she's listening. Know like what like a huge like, so that's why my whole night was out of whack. That's why when you texted me, I was literally like setting up my computer and cooking at the same time and putting stuff away. I was like a maniac.
Yeah. We really quick on that before we get into this. We went to the me and a friend of mine. We were actually gonna do some home brewing stuff, right? He came over. I haven't seen him in a while. They're expecting their first kid, so it's kind of like that last like little bit where he's like his wife's like, look, go out, like be a boy, like because you got to be a man in about 2 months. So like he's like, hey, we haven't hung out in a while. I want to come over. Like we want to do some home brewing and we'll hang out. I was like, cool, like come on over. I was like, Grace, Megan's here and stuff like that. So he came over. We weren't able to do our brewing. Some stuff happened, but it's like super hot here, right? It's like 98 degrees. The pool, our community pool, is like perfect. It's like this nice, perfect clear blue and stuff like that. And so I was like, dude, let's go to the pool. Like we can go hang out. We can go have a couple beers out there. I was like, Grace will come out. She likes to swim. We just have kind of a family time.
Mm-hmm.
So we go out there. A couple of our neighbors, they like come out. They have like this like 4 foot karaoke machine that they're out there like just partying it up, right? Like just blasting music and stuff like that. They're barbecuing. And I was like, oh man, I just want to hang out here like all day. This is like amazing. So we're out there, and one of the neighbors I'm friends with, he was like, hey man, I got some extra hard seltzers if you want some. And I was like, yeah. So I'm sitting there. I had like 3, like the time we were out there, 3 or 4, and we were out there for like a while. Like I've got like a red forehead and stuff like that from it. So about 5 o'clock hits, and I was like, man, I was like, I'm a little drunk, and my buddy was like, I got to drive home, dude. He's like, I can't drink anymore. I was like, no, me either. I got to record. I was like, and Victor will fire me if I'm like hammered on that podcast. I was like,
Fire
I can
you.
be tipsy, but I was like, I can be tipsy, but I don't need to be on there. They're like, yeah, so there's Dexter. Just like out, like I was on Xbox at one time. So,
Oh my god.
all right. Sorry to waste everybody's time in that story, but
No,
it
you're
was
good.
fun.
I guess for for anyone, we obviously this part that we're doing. Yeah. This part we're doing here, this is not going to be part of the podcast. This is just hanging out. In a second, we'll like actually start. If you are watching, it's still going to be podcast. This is just us bullshitting. And we, as I was saying before, any newcomers here, like we were telling Jen before, we Zoom anyway. And it's taken me some stuff to figure stuff out to get this into a stream. But it's like one small extra step. So we were like, why not? And it's pretty cool, like having the chat while we're doing everything. And I have a very chat intensive question that I want to ask, but I need to fill up my water bottle and then I'm good to go. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep. I like how you're getting sidelined by the chat.
I am. I thought you were funny.
No, I love it.
Sorry,
And I love
Sean.
it. No, it's so funny.
Let's get his water. I basically have water. I've got Coors Light, so. Hopefully everybody has had a good time.
All right. Let's see here. Can I do this? Oh no, I gotta do that.
I
trying to do
really
here?
should have gotten this. I still haven't set up my second monitor. Like I'm having to go back and forth on the chat. I'm like,
I just have my iPad. That's how I'm watching it.
Grace is using ours. She
You,
wins
you
that
could put
battle.
your phone, I guess, if you put it with a charger. But I mean,
Yeah.
if you have the chat up, I mean, I'm clicking between a bunch of different windows. Like, it may look like I'm responding to you, but I'm actually not. Visually, my face, but
I've got it pretty set up where I'm able to click back and forth pretty fast, so I should be fine. And Sean, I'm actually still working on that podcast. It's just, it is not. I'm still working on it. I can't get the, on all honesty, I can't get the intro down. That's my hardest thing is getting the intro figured out because the intro is like what catches people, and I'm too scared to pull the trigger on one. That's honestly all that it is.
um, that's good because I am now knowing that I'm gonna peer pressure you in the podcast. You ready to start recording?
Yeah, I am. Let's do this.
All right, I'm gonna hit start recording on Zencaster,
Okay.
and 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're live on Zencaster. All right. Let me get
Cool.
my notes up, and then when you're ready, you go ahead and kick it off, Colton.
All right. All right. This is Colton.
And
Welcome to the Digging Text. I never do it right. I don't know why you put the pressure on me. I never do it right. Where's Marissa? Just done.
listen, to be fair, we've only done this for 23 episodes. You just say this is Colton, and then I come in with a non-funny, witty line from the episode. That's how it's always been. You say like, "Hi, this is Colton," and then I say, "This is Victor." Surprise, motherfucker! You know, this is Victor. I'm the Big Harbor Butcher. Like, all you have to say is, "This is Colton," and then I got
This
it
is
from there.
Colton.
Wait. All right, go ahead. All right, and 3, 2.
This is Colton.
And this is why we're not doing episode 2 tonight. All right.
No. Okay. This is Colton.
And this is Victor, and there's nothing like a good podcast to define who you are. Do you remember that line or not really? I feel like you don't remember
I
that
actually
line.
don't. I don't.
During the montage when he's like, there's nothing like a good crisis to define who you are.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah.
All the season 8 diehards will get this. Welcome back, everyone. We are finally at season 8 of Digging Dexter. Wow, I think I started the podcast April or May of 2018. And what are we, 3 years and change to get to season 8? Season 8 is something.
Wow.
Season 8 is something I didn't want to do, and just like the show, what is it? It took 6 months between season 7 and season 8, and we are just about 7 months. So we're like somewhat, that was the plan the whole time. We were keeping it exactly how the show is.
Spot on.
So season 8, I think we've already had so much conversation about all of this. I have like I guess it's like a little essay. I guess some notes I want. I mean, we talked about season 8 so much. And I guess a big reason why we're here is because, well, honestly, it's the only reason why we're here is obviously the Dexter season New Blood. The new, I gotta get. It's not a reboot. It's not a remake. It's just a new season. It's not season 9 either. So
It's its own entity.
Yeah. Something I want to say that I'm getting terrible at this. We are streaming our episodes live on YouTube Sunday nights. I guess that schedule is going to change here and there, but we have all video versions of what we're doing now. So if you want to see what two guys who podcast on shows that are quite a bit old, you can watch us.
10 years out of date.
All right, so we're here for season 8. And I feel like I say this every season. I'm going to try and be less negative. But I also want to kind of point out parts where the show could have improved this final season. Watching this episode and just getting a yes or no answer out of you, and me and Colton prepared to do 2 episodes, but I'm not sure we're going to be able to get to it. But watching the first 2 episodes, are you in agreement with me that, like, so far, these 2 episodes, really good? Yeah, I was
Like, I mean,
shocked at how good it
yeah.
was.
Well, okay, and I'm not to go into it too much, but I remember messaging you. So I watched the season live. This was the season I watched live whenever it aired. Hated it, couldn't stand it. I hated this season. There was so much about it. I rewatched it again about 2 months ago as just a fan. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do notes. I'm not going to look at this like from a podcast perspective. I just want to binge it, right? Like, like I get like some time at night. Let me watch 2 episodes here. 2 days later, let me watch 2 episodes when I get some free time. And I actually messaged you about it, and I was like, you know what? I was like, this season is not as bad as I remember. I'm not saying it's good. Okay, I'm not going to say that, but I know when I was messaging you that I was on like episode 4 or 5 of it, and it's because these first 2 episodes are actually really good. Like there's some issues with it, nothing's perfect, I get that, but overall, it's a really good episode. There's a lot going on.
Like, yeah, I feel like they had the right pieces for this final season. They just didn't execute them well. Like the season kind of
Yeah.
feels flat. And I feel like after watching that Comic-Con panel and having 8 years being able to like do this, I feel like even the Dexter cast, the crew, everyone involved would like agree. Something I was thinking of was like, obviously this goes down as one of the worst finales all time of a series, and we'll get there. And when you start having that conversation, if you're just hanging out with your buddies and you're just talking television, obviously also what gets brought up is Game of Thrones. And a distinction I wanted to make, and maybe something that we can talk about as we go through the episodes, the way I was able to put it into words for me was season 8 of Dexter was lazy writing, whereas season 8 of Game of Thrones was bad writing. Meaning, like,
Yes.
I feel like they could have, if someone just would have went over the script one more time, been like, all right, why is Harrison 6 months older? 6 years older? Do we have to do that? Just like stupid little stuff. I just feel like they could have
Yeah.
made. I don't think it ever was going to be the best season because I feel like they've kind of used that. They use their hot card too quick. I think we always talk about season 2 and season 4. Game of Thrones, there was no fixing that. Like, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, there was no fixing how they were gonna end up with the Long Night, the against the Night King. Like, there was nothing that was gonna fix it that would have fixed the rest of the season. Whereas here, little changes here and there could have really made this a decent thing, and that's why I think lazy writing versus bad writing.
What I can describe this is honestly how I was. It's really funny you're telling me this. We're talking about this because I was actually having this conversation just a couple weeks ago with a friend of mine. Season 8 of Dexter is, that coworker you have that they're like a really good person. They're like okay at their job. If they just like did stuff a little bit different, they would be like a really good employee. That's what season 8 of Dexter is. The last season of Game of Thrones is that really shitty coworker you have that also put in their 2 weeks notice, and it's the last week that they're working. That's exactly what it is.
Oh yeah,
like they just didn't give a shit. They just didn't give a shit. Dexter, I think they gave a shit. They just were kind of like, well, fuck, like how do we finish this? Like, what do we do? And yeah, that's how I would describe it.
And that leads me to something that I was glad we're doing live streaming now, and I'm not sure, how do I see here? We don't have too many viewers right now, but I want to know why. So, reading some interviews, and I couldn't find much. It's really hard to get like behind the scenes info and shit. Season 8 basically started filming right after season 7 ended. It was like 1, 2, 3. They knew how season 8 was going to end. Michael C. Hall got told on the last day of season 7 filming how season 8's going to end. So he had that in the back of his head all this time. My question is, why was if we're doing this in 2013, seasons 1 through 7 of Dexter all happened in the fall time. I think maybe Dexter season 2 didn't, but hold on. But usually it used to be a thing. TV is so different now today, but television used to the good shows would air in the fall. everyone coming back to school. So that was the fall, and it was a thing like Sunday night, Season 8 got pushed to June. So season 7 ended December 2012. Season 8 came out June of 2013, 6 months later.
I didn't realize
and
that,
I just
actually.
don't know. I wonder why. I just wonder why there was that push, especially because it went right up against Breaking Bad's final season.
Like weeks apart.
Yeah, so season 2 was in the fall. So yes, this is the only season that came out during the summertime. Maybe it is like, hey, we know this isn't as good and we just want to get it out. I don't know if they got rushed. It just seems crazy that it got pushed to June. But yes, I just would love to know why they went up against Breaking Bad and in the summer. Breaking Bad, I feel like they could have released Wednesdays at noon, the way that the tension was for that final season, and it would have been fine. Just something, if anyone knows, reach out, let us know, because that's something I've always been interested in. What's one other thing I wanted to get to? Also, I wanted to mention the season 8 trailer. It's basically all of the first episode, and a TV trailer doesn't usually do this, but it left out the entire Vogel and Brain Surgeon plot. But I remember loving the trailer. It has an awesome cover of God's Gonna Cut You Down. But I just wanted to mention it because they had the cool, how like the promo for this Dexter New Blood season is like sort of like black ice, I guess is the best way I could put it. It was sort of like the ocean, but like black and red was kind of like the theme. So I just thought it was cool, like, final season and everything. Anything before we actually get into it? I mean, we could obviously talk about the whole of season 8, but just anything you want to mention before getting into the actual first episode?
No, because I don't want to go into too much just about the season, because we're going to talk about
we could just keep going on.
So, yeah.
And I'm sorry, one more thing I do want to bring up. I was so fortunate, if you put me back in 2013, I think at the end of June is when this first episode came out of 2013. I had a friend, and if I say too much, it won't, whatever. I was able to watch the first 4 episodes before even the first episode aired. So
nice.
Yeah, I got some, whatever. I don't even know why I'm actually bringing it up. I'm bringing it all up because I actually went to Comic-Con for season 8. I was in Comic-Con San Diego, and it was weird because I think episodes 1 and 2 already aired, and they were doing the panel. It was really cool, and I've posted pictures before. Maybe I'll post more pictures. But it was just really cool to be in San Diego for Comic-Con and seeing the Dexter panel. If you've ever been to Comic-Con, in the Hall H is where they have the big panels. Usually they go on at like 6. Dexter, like the big one, goes on later in the day. People would camp it out the night before, just trying to get a seat. I got stupid lucky. I just walked in there at like 2:00 after other people were camping trying to get in, and there was this. I could still see the seat open. I had to sit through a few panels of Alfonso Cuarón, he's a huge director. He did the Sandra Bullock and George Clooney movie where they go into space, Gravity.
Gravity, yeah.
And Mark Webb, who did The Amazing Spider-Man 2. These were the movies they were talking about. And Harrison Ford, he did some movie back in 2014, as some kids book, teen book movie, whatever. I had to sit through like 2 panels, and then I got to see the Dexter thing. It was pretty cool. All right, season 8, episode 1, A Beautiful Day. Anything with the title episode mean for you? Anything you picked up on?
The only thing I could take on it for being a beautiful day, it's kind of like when you say that, like it's a beautiful day, like it's a new start. And this whole episode is basically new beginnings, like a new start. They could have named the episode New Beginnings. It would have been the same thing to me.
Yes, I have a little bit of a different take on it. Something, and I'm gonna have to try and edit this out. Colton, can you hear this? Did you hear it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, there you go.
I heard
you
that.
Heard that. Oh, sorry. Stop. Oh my God. And then Colton. So A Beautiful Day. Did you recognize the song that is played in the beginning?
Oh no, I guess
Shut
I
up,
didn't.
cunt. Shut up, cunt.
Oh no! Why does it keep doing that?
Shut up, cunt.
Oh, that's on repeat.
Shut
That's
up, cunt.
offensive.
Shut up, cunt.
Why
Shut
is
up,
it?
cunt. Shut up, cunt. Shut up, cunt.
There we go. All right. Say something again.
Shut up, cunt.
Again?
All right. Got to bring some of our old sounds back. Okay. It's interesting you say you took almost the exact opposite take I had on the episode. I took it as ironic that it's a beautiful day, and I'm pretty sure the entire episode it's like super cloudy. And Dexter's, I don't think this episode takes place over one day, but it's like always cloudy, and he goes from like, because I love this montage, and we'll talk about it in a second. He goes from like, I'm fucking living life, I'm banging soccer moms, I'm fucking doing it, like, life is great. To at the end of the episode, he's sitting on that same bench, and it's like there's trash everywhere and like everything. I just love like the slow decline there. So that's kind of why I took it as ironic.
Okay.
A beauty, like we call my son Shrimp Toast. We call him Shrimp. He's tremendous. He's like 99th percentile of everything. I feel like it was something like that, like just a beautiful day, and it definitely wasn't. The song, and I want to play it here because one of my favorite moments of Dexter. I gotta lower the volume. Oh no! I'm trying to do this live.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, dude. I do recognize it now. Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to do it. I'll play it. I'll do whatever. Do you know? So do you know what song it is?
I cannot for the life. I'm not good at music on guessing names and stuff like that, but I do know it. Yes.
It is. Yes. A Wonderful Life. Louis Armstrong. Yes. I love the acoustic version of this. I always give the Dexter show shit for Dexter never suffers the consequences. I love it here because Dexter is just like, he even says it. It's made him better. Like, since LaGuerta took care of every single problem he had. And again, like, look how happy he is coaching Harrison to a soccer game, soccer championship, how much fun he's having at work. Just unaffected living life. What?
So, well, okay. So, but I do have a little bit of a note on that though, because this is, I guess, where it's also like a lot of it is also changed to me, because when we go from season 1, Dexter's, I don't know the exact terminology for it, but it's more or less, it's kind of like he's not interested in sex. He's not interested in, he just wants to do his thing, go to work, kill, and then that's it. And then remember, Rita's like his cover, the ultimate cover, because she's as damaged as he is and stuff like that. So it was kind of weird to me when I'm watching this, and I'm like, okay, he's having fun at work, he's doing all this stuff. That's a little bit strange in of itself, but okay, all right, fine. He's putting on the face for it. But then like the sleeping around and stuff like that was a little out of character, I guess. But I don't know if it's also because of the last 8 years he's had relationships, and so now he has turned into somebody that he does, I guess, like to have sexual relationships and stuff like that. So
it's a good point you bring up, because I think I feel like this is me, and I'm part of it too. You get a little rusty and you forget something about Dexter that's sort of hidden below the surface that doesn't get talked about, but it's a huge thing with the show. Dexter is completely an unreliable narrator. We are watching this show through Dexter's eyes. So the whole thing with Deb, we obviously know the answers, but we're interpreting it through Dexter's eyes. And I say that to say, Dexter, from the start of season 2, when he met Lila, all that thing about sex was completely out the window. Guy clearly enjoys sex.
that's true, because he sleeps with the one chick at the
at the
high school reunion.
Yeah. He got a blowy from her, but still.
Okay.
No, but like the point is, he
semantics at this point.
He got an oral pleasure job. I guess
I just made it sound more gross. We're not.
An oral massage. he clearly enjoys sex, and I think something about the show, and you know what? It's a lot of what Vogel says. He's not a psychopath as much as he thinks he is. Like, he's clearly closer to human and normal than everything else. So this idea where he's just like, yeah, he's having sex. It's like, yes, that is from the season 1 Dexter. That's like, no, why, whatever. He's definitely craving attention. He doesn't have Deb. And then, we see what happens when Vogel comes in. So I just think it's something we have to like reset in our heads, is that like Dexter, who he says he was and who he thought he was and everything, is not who he is. He clearly has emotions. Look about Hannah and Deb last season. And the code is definitely slipping. We've been saying it a lot. We said it a lot last season and the season before that. He's getting sloppy. He's definitely becoming closer to human than he was, whatever. So it's a good point you brought up, because it is easy to forget that.
And I have something else to go into that, but yeah, I want to do that in a minute. So let's keep going.
So about
the slipping and stuff like that.
I just love this opening montage. I love the song. It's an acoustic version of a wonderful. Is it A Wonderful Life or yeah, it's A Wonderful Life. I love the acoustic version. I just love how
Wonderful World, or is it a wonderful?
What did I say?
World. It's A Wonderful Life. I think it's A Wonderful World. It's a wonderful world. Is it? I don't know.
What a wonderful world! It's a wonderful world. What a wonderful world.
Okay, I was like, I'm not good with music, so like I'll recognize something when I kind of hear it for a second. I'm like, oh yeah, that's that. So
I'm not sure how many montages the Dexter show has done. I can't really think of many. They've done a few. This is one I have they? I don't think the Dexter show does a lot of montages. There's a few. I
feel like they do a lot.
I think in the season openers they do. I remember they did one for season 3. I'm telling you, I really don't think they do montages.
I have some people in the chat. I feel like they do a lot of montages, because there's like every time he does the little voiceover, like, it was then I realized my life was actually growing, and it's like Deb like doing something, and then him like twirling Harrison.
Okay, so they no
making pancake.
No, they had some in season 1. I honestly don't think besides some of season 1, the beginning of season 3, I guess the end of season 4, but it's let's call that a montage. The end of season 4. I really can't think of much after that. Regardless, this is my favorite one.
They got married.
Yes. Well, that they were showing of the wedding. We want to talk about nitpicking. We are nitpicking.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, we're definitely
starting out at LaGuerta's memorial.
Mm-hmm.
How old would you say Harrison is now?
He's got to be at least 21.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I mean, okay, show-wise, show-wise technically, like, okay, are you asking technically, or are you asking, like, if I was to run into that kid on the street, like, what would I think?
If we were in 2013 and you were walking by this cops memorial on the beach and you saw that kid on Dexter's lap, how old do you think that kid is?
6 or 7.
Right. I have 5, 6, or 7.
Like getting up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I bring up one more
point?
point?
How's he supposed to be? What, 3?
Oh, I'd have to pull up Zach's thing, and I meant to do it. I just had a crazy day.
Okay.
Yeah, he's supposed to. I mean, he was still a baby last season, right? Because Lewis, the weird intern, was like rubbing his head, and he's a little baby.
That's right. Yeah.
Something else too about Dexter watching, interested in sex and not. You have to take into account some of his thing is.
I watch internet pornography.
So there's also that.
Nice.
So we're at LaGuerta's memorial, and okay. I don't want to harp on it. I don't know why they made the jump for him. Dexter says it clearly. We jumped 6 months, and we don't have to bitch about it because we could bitch about it all we want. It's just like, oh, he just aged 6 years in whatever time. Yeah. But like, sure.
Like, let's talk about it now. But yeah, no, it's very
It's off. It's weird, but fine. Let's roll with it. We got 12 episodes to close the Dexter story. Fine.
There's way more to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. Dedicating a bench. Disrespectful. Did you agree with Batista?
I say no, but that's because I see like benches everywhere. Like there's this like park I go and walk in and stuff like that, and there's like all these like really nice benches. Now they don't look like this concrete. I don't know. I don't really like the style of the bench. It's very, I don't know. It's very weird looking. But there's like the normal park benches and stuff like that, and it's like in memory of like the Walton family or whatever. And then there's like, you know, another bench later. I don't think it's disrespectful. Like I don't know, but then again, that's like family members that have bought a bench for somebody because they, you know, donated to land or conservation or something like that. I guess a police department doing it, maybe, but
It does feel a little.
I'm saying
Being that she was a lieutenant, I'm pretty sure she was killed in the line of duty, right?
that's true. It was in the line of duty.
It
too,
does
yeah.
feel a little like, okay, but like, you know what? Fine. Like
But is this also like at like the fallen officers memorial center and like maybe there's other benches named after fallen officers? I'm just trying to give some credit, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It actually does remind me that this is. I've talked about this on before. That area where this scene is shot is like a huge cluster of where they do a lot of Dexter shooting. Because even if you look in the background, there's so many times it's where Aster got caught shoplifting in season 5. Right under that bridge is where like Lila finds out what Dexter had in his bag. That's where Miguel and Dexter have their thing.
I was gonna say,
Where Trinity gets a dog. Dexter captures that guy who's the weird photographer. There's a bar where they drink out with Lila. That area, and I forget what it's called. I had someone comment on one of the YouTube channels videos we had up of what that area is called. Whatever. They do all their shooting there, and this park is there too. I got it. Oh, I could add photos in here, but I'm not going to do it now. So I just wanted to bring that up. That when I went to Long Beach, you know what? I may have the bench. Picture. That's a good. Yeah, I'll see if I can get it up here. And then we get our first crime scene of the season. I didn't clip it because this is what you're going to get now, being that I'm a father. I just don't have time for anything. We get our first sound of the brain surgeon sound, what almost sounds like a UFO. Did you pick up on that? Do you know what song I'm talking about?
No.
Let me see. I could maybe do it up here in Zencaster. And
Okay, while you're pulling that up, I actually want to make a comment.
Yeah,
real quick
please
that-
do.
Just a stray observation I made on this, because when they're at the memorial, like, you know, Batista's giving his speech and stuff like that. He's got his suit and his, I think he had a fedora on. I could be wrong about that, but he was wearing a suit, right? And I was like, okay, it's a memorial. Batista's wearing a suit, like whatever. Then when we get to the crime scene, I think he's wearing that same suit. Like, did they go from the
I think
funeral to there?
Yeah.
That's more disrespectful than anything. Like, you couldn't just take the day off to remember her. Like, I was like, hold on. But then, like, he wears a suit, I think, the whole episode. When did Batista become a suit wearer? And in that heat. Like, I've been to Miami one time in my entire life, and you saw how much I sweat.
And Colton was naked. That was the weird part, too. He was just naked and sweating. No, I know. I know.
I had that in my notes. I was like, why is he wearing suits? Like, he's like, it's also he's like, well, now that I'm lieutenant, suit Batista, it is. Like, it
Suit
just, I don't
Batista.
know. It was real weird to me.
This was that brain surgeon sound. See, it's got that like little like UFO thing going on.
Yeah, it's got like that electronic reverb going.
Yeah. That was just that song that plays. And then Colton, we didn't even talk. We always usually talk about I have the episode split up into Deb and Vogel. One more thing I wanted to bring up before we decide which one to talk about. I have to bring up the thing here. Yeah. I just want to see your face here. And Jamie and Quinn are together now.
Okay.
Like, yeah, literally.
They came out. Okay.
We don't have to talk about it, man. Come on. If you have something on this.
I actually don't. I guess I really don't, because I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, they're together now. Like,
I feel like they try to make it a reveal the way they have like Jamie having sex, and then we find out that it's Quinn, but it's like this is something to talk about much later in the season, and like how we always usually try to split up the episodes into like 2 talking points. I feel like this isn't going to come together until like 8 episodes from now.
No, right now it's literally you could leave out their portion of the story and it would add nothing and
Yeah.
take away nothing. I'm
And it's always
like,
it's
okay,
always
like
been my
that's what I said. Like,
it's always been my criticism of Dexter of this the surrounding characters don't mean anything, you know.
yeah,
All right, so did you do your notes into Deb and Vogel at all, or did you just kind of go as its episode?
I actually on this one I just went as the episode.
Okay.
Yeah,
Are-
I was just kind of jotting stuff down.
Are you okay if I try to do
It
Vogel?
would actually
Go ahead.
it would make it would actually make it easier for me.
Great.
So
Let me try and see if I could do this here. Just don't repeat yourself. Oh, come on. That's going to be so annoying to edit out. So what do you want to do first, Deb or Vogel? Deb has more story. Oh, you want to do Vogel?
I'd actually rather do Vogel, get her out of the way.
So we get the introduction of Evelyn Vogel, a.k.a. Well, no, she's Charlotte Rampling, a.k.a. Evelyn Vogel, who's apparently a huge actress over the other side of the pond.
Yeah, I was looking up some stuff on her because she looked really familiar to me, but I can't place anything she's been in actually that in my head that I was looking at. She looked really familiar.
Did you ever see Zardos? It's an old ass movie. It's an old hilarious movie. Yeah. And so I'm able to take a much, again, how many times do I say this? At least I say this. I'm able to take such a better analytical look at the show with doing the podcast, and I just picked up on stuff with like the way Vogel is dissecting a brain is like the same way. It's like almost like the same thing she did to Dexter. Like she's just like the way she created Dexter. She's also there, like you know, sort of working on the brain. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm not putting it together well, and that's really good for a podcast.
It's a lot of not foreshadowing. It's a lot of
symbolism.
Symbolism. There's symbolism. It's
Look
a
at
lot
that.
of symbolism. Like, well, because like the first time he really meets her, I mean, she's in the meeting or whatever with. Is it the FBI?
No,
or,
it's just Matthews.
It's just okay. It's just Matthews. When she's in there, she's like that's when he first meets her. And then when he first like actually talks with her, she's messing with the brain at symbolism to come. Not to spoil anything, but if you're watching this, you probably already know what's going to be kind of happening. But she's been messing with his mind. She's part of the reason his mind has been messed with, I guess, is what you could say.
And a lot of this, and this is why we get into a little trouble trying to do 2 episodes at once, is because I think we're going to start taking a lot from the second episode into here, because they flesh her out so much better in the second episode. Going back to the way Dexter is regarding sex and everything, one of the main things about season 1, Dexter was like, yeah, you can't play on my emotions. I don't have any. Because even here, she's like in the meeting regarding this first brain surgeon victim, and she's like, the thing about psychopaths is, and they cut to Dexter, and he's like, they don't have any emotions or something to that effect. And she says it for him, and that's when Dexter's like, oh shit, who's this? So it's just interesting, like they're trying to, I don't know. See, this would have been fascinating to do in 2013, because at this point, at the end of the first episode, she absolutely seems like the villain. She's
100%.
She's mysterious and everything.
I thought she was. I was positive. I was like, oh, we're going to get a female serial killer again. Like, this is going to be great. I was like, she's the brain surgeon. I already know it. I remember thinking it. Like,
You guy gets his head cut open, scooped out with a fucking melon baller, and you also have this new weird random woman coming. Something I didn't understand, and maybe this is just television and I don't get it. I don't get, being that she knows Dexter, and if this is me, I'll let you be the judge here, Colton. If this is me projecting too much from future episodes to bring up this talking point, then we could just cut it right here and keep moving on. The idea that we know what Vogel becomes and who she is to Dexter. Why is she fucking with him in the morgue? When they're having that conversation and she's like, she knows Dexter. If we try to keep it within episode parameters of episode 801, Well, also, well, no, because at the end of the episode, she's like, "You can't kill me. I don't fit your code." Clearly, she knows who Dexter is.
Yeah.
The only other person who knows the code is Deb, right?
That's alive. Yeah, that's alive. Is
So
Deb,
like
yeah.
she knows who Dexter is.
Mhm.
Why is she fucking with him in the morgue? Why is it? I maybe it's just something like, you know, you just can't say like, "Hey, I know who you are," or whatever.
I think it's
I don't
to
know.
test him. That's how I kind of viewed it. Like looking, if I'm to look back on it, I would say, because I really didn't think about this until you're bringing it up. Looking back on it, I think it would be more like she was kind of fucking with him essentially to test him, like kind of push his buttons a little bit, like let me see like how he actually like works, because she's obviously curious about his brain and how everything functions, to see like does he really follow his code, does he really like, is he able to like control his emotions, and that's how I was to guess it. Like I said, that's just a guess, dude. That's all I'm saying on it.
As we're talking about this, and being that we have the benefit of we know what this character becomes, I think I want to bring up one more point, and then I think we could actually curb it because we have a lot of Vogel to talk about next episode. You know what I mean? So sitting here trying to talk about what we know, even though we know it, you know what I'm saying? Like I think it's better served for the listeners and us, whatnot. And again, I kind of brought this up already, but there, I guess, damn, this is so tough sometimes. There is some fascinating conversation that they have regarding a serial killer, Dexter and Vogel, and you know everything that Vogel knows, and even Dexter goes to Matthews and he's like, you know, why is she here? He's trying to figure out why why is this woman here and whatnot. But this is all for before the reveal at the end. Maybe I'm not smart or good enough to break down all the conversation. I enjoy their conversation they're having regarding serial killers and whatnot, because like you said, she's testing him, but it's like that funny thing of like she knows who he is. He has no idea who she is. So there's a lot of that. Like there's history there that obviously we
and
can't
she like
talk
fully
about.
knows, like she knows he's the Bay Harbor Butcher, like she knows,
Right. Yeah, she knows. Yeah,
like,
she knows it all.
yeah, everything. Like it's not just a I know you're Harry's kid. Like even keeping that, like I mean, she knows that this guy is oh, this sounds so corny to say it this way, but she knows that this is basically she's in the room with a weapon of mass destruction in a way. Like that's kind of like what she is. So I think that's why she's kind of pushing him. She's like kind of intrigued to see like what is this? Like what, you know, like she's looking at him like an animal, like you're at a zoo. I mean,
We may have to carry this comment over to the next episode, and this is one of the things where I say season 8 had some great parts that they just didn't make everything fit well. And because Sean comments in the YouTube chat, she's a terrific actress. Her character was so unnecessary and was just shoehorned in to explain Dexter's psychosis. I think, and again, when we talk about the next episode, 802, Every Silver Lining, I think they had a really good plot. I think they had a really good device. They just didn't execute it. But, you know, they kind of... you didn't watch the Saw movies, or as much as I did. You know,
what? No, I didn't.
The Saw movies.
Oh, dude, I own all of those.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I do like a rewatch probably like every 6 months. I love the Saw movies.
Oh, I don't watch them that much, but I've watched all of them multiple times. I love the Saw movies.
But a lot of like in Saw, it's like, oh, you didn't know this, but this whole time there was this whole other Costas Mandylor was the one who was actually the killer and whatnot. That just fell flat for a season 8 plot. But I think I like, again, this is so tough to do without talking about the next episode. I really do think they had something good with this. I just think it was executed poorly, and it's hard to talk about it.
I think this is the benefit of doing the chat, though, is this is actually a fun part of doing the chat, kind of doing it this way, where people that are listening, like if you're listening in on the podcast, you're not in on the chat, like get in on the chat, because this is something like with what Sean's saying, Sean has been on, we've done, well, technically we've done 3 live recordings. Sean has been on all 3. This is something Sean can obviously bring up again, and we can revisit it. I think that's a fun idea about doing this. So
yeah. And then again, we we kind of talked about it already, but the way the episode ends, Dexter is having a shit day, and we'll talk about everything that happens with Deb. But again, this same scene where Dexter is in the beginning, and there's trash in the beginning. He's flying a kite. He's having fun with Harrison, and then at the end, there's like trash everywhere. It's somehow even more darker out. Vogel shows up and just sort of drops off Dexter's artwork with when he was younger. I know, that's just hilarious.
What? Okay, that is a nitpick I am going to go ahead and do. Why did she still have all that? Like, all these moves that she's done, doing everywhere. I don't know. I found that a little bit strange that she had kept all that this long of a period of time. That's just me, and I don't know. And then she was able to pull it out. Like, Dexter is obviously a very special person. He's a very special person. So I don't know. It was a little weird to me on that one.
But. Let me try and defend the show. So I think we are to learn that Vogel has arrived here from the UK, that she kind of goes back and forth, and it's been a while. So maybe in her Miami house, she just keeps a lot of stuff.
She has a Miami house and she has a UK house. Oh.
And then second, she kind of has like files of stuff, and this is just something she would have brought here. Also, second, I imagine as the writers had to find a way to disarm Dexter instead of being like, come to my house and watch a movie. Something to sort of like, hey, I know who you are and you don't even know who you are, but here's who you are. Just something. And it's a pretty ritual, a routine thing that, like, if a kid is drawing fucking demons and stabbing and blood and whatnot, that there's something else going up there if the kid's not drawing sunshine and the family and stuff, whatever. I heard this on I forget what podcast. The Dexter podcast, actually. There's a Dexter podcast they did with the writers, and they said, like, if the kid's drawing dark shit like this, it's like he more likely has terrible tendencies versus drawing the sun and the moon and stuff. The face you're making, I feel like you always drew.
Didn't Grace draw that thing of me being murdered? No, I'm just kidding.
I thought you were going to do the super bad thing where he's like, all day I just draw penises, and I just drew penises.
All Grace draws is me being murdered. I didn't understand. It was just knives everywhere. No, I'm just kidding. She does very huge drawings, actually. So, really wonderful tones of red.
Oh, okay. My God. So that's kind of it on the vote. And then again, Dexter throws her up against the wall. Why can't you kill me? Because I don't fit Hilary's code. And that's sort of the end of that.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
There's definitely more to talk about Vogel next episode. That's, yeah.
Where's my sound clips here? What? I have sound clips that I have to play. Okay. Yeah, all my sound clips is for the Deb part. I guess we could pack that up and move on to Deb.
Yeah. The Deb part is my favorite part of this whole. Yeah. Ding. The Deb part is my favorite part of this whole episode.
So there's parts where we could talk about it, but as a whole, when I finished this episode, I couldn't believe what amazing acting by Jennifer Carpenter. Just fucking phenomenal. Like, holy shit. Like, if this entire season was one episode, I feel like she would have won awards for the acting in this episode. It's
Oscar,
great.
Like, right there. Just, yeah. Anybody else that's being nominated, like, if that was what was going on, they'd be like, okay, well, first off, we got Jennifer Carpenter for Dexter. Every other person after that's getting introduced is like, well, what the fuck? Just give it to her.
Right.
Like, amazing.
Yeah, I think I stopped taking notes and I just put my computer down. I was just watching her towards the end when they're in the hotel room and shit. To set some of this up.
So good.
It's been a thing that Deb's been missing for quite some time. She basically just walked out one day of Miami Metro, never came back. She starts working for Elway. I forget the name of his company. But
Boondock Saint.
I have a note in here. Like, I know why you know the guy, but do you know where else he's from?
I knew you would say this. God damn it.
See, and we just talked about it, and this is how.
Yeah. We'll. This podcast will be 4 fucking hours if I sit there and do it. No, I don't. I know him from something else. What is it? What is it that I know him from?
Saw 3D, the final chapter. He's the guy saw 7. Yo, Roxanne is here. Oh my god, I gotta add something. I gotta add. Damn it, I don't know where my air horns are. Damn it.
No.
I know this is terrible.
I was gonna try, but
Where am
sorry,
I?
Roxanne, I tried.
Where are my air horns? No, Roxanne, no. This is terrible for the podcast part. Oh my god, I don't.
Actual listeners.
This is terrible for the viewers too. Sorry, Roxanne. We should have had. I'm sorry. I'm so.
That's the best I can do. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
What's up, Roxanne? All right. So going back to Deb, she signed out. There are what do you call that? Bounty hunters?
No. He's a
private investigator.
He's
PI.
Private investigators. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Dexter can't get a hold of her. We see, like, from the memorial, they're still not talking since this whole thing has gone down. And just like we all do in Miami, she is in a room doing coke, listening to Pitbull.
Wait, is it actually Pitbull? Is it really?
They're playing some Pitbull song, which is so cheesy. That just feels like...
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's so cheesy. It's just like, what's the cheesiest music we can get?
Mr. Worldwide.
When Dexter, oh man, I find it so funny and so telling of Dexter trying to find Deb while being the problem, also trying to be the solution. Do you get what I'm saying? He's like,
mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, I was gonna. No. It's not quite ready for me to bring it up.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay, I'll keep going. Dexter is tracking Deb, and he finally finds her in this store. So we see Deb is with this guy, and his name is Briggs, and he's a fence.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what a fence is? Because I had to look it up, and I feel like even if you know what it is, I want to give the internet white man version of what a fence is.
The only reason I actually know what a fence is because of Red Dead Redemption 2. So,
oh, wow.
Yes, I do know what one is. Absolutely. Yes.
As the internet... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Basically what a fence is it is somebody that you can come across things that you can't sell because of legal reasons. And a fence is somebody that will have connections to buy said illegal things. Usually it's either stolen jewelry or something like that. It's not something you can usually sell pretty easily. High-end jewelry. Yeah, you have say a $10,000 watch. Well, I can't go and sell that on the side of the street for $100 because I know it's worth more than that. But your average person on the side of the street isn't going to pay $5,000, 50% of what it's worth. So a fence usually has connections to people. They can sell stuff. You also have the black market, which is you can sell forged or stolen famous artworks and things like that. They have connections to buyers through other means than your normal legal channels. That is my definition of what a fence is.
Cliff Notes version: a fence is an individual who knowingly buys stolen property for later resale in a usually legitimate market.
What is that in Office Space where it's like we're looking up money laundering in the dictionary?
That's really funny. Color. Dexter sees Deb in this store, and this was a trailer scene. Dude, did you get as weirded out as I did? And again, this is all for me to get weirded out or something to catch my eye is fascinating because I've watched this show so many times. When Dexter says to Deb, "Are you having sex with him?" That's fucking
super weird.
So weird.
One, this is your sister, and two, this is your sister. Why?
And honestly, 3, that's your sister. Yes, 1,000%. Yes, super weird.
1, why? Why do you care?
Right.
2, legitimately, why do you care? And 3, the fuck business is it of yours?
What if she said yes? And her not answering is like a way of saying like yes, like, you know.
Yeah.
God.
It was no, it was weird. As soon as because that's like one of the first things he says. That's almost like something like a jealous ex-boyfriend like confronting you in a store is going to be like asking, like, "Oh,
Right,
you're with
right.
him? Are you having sex with him?"
Right,
Like,
right. So
is-
so to set up some of this, Deb is clearly using this PI stuff to,
Mhm.
you know,
make money.
yeah, well, see, I don't even think it's about money because I think that at some point, Elway
Well,
even says to Dexter, like, hey, I give her like high profile case. She doesn't want it. I think she's
Goes to
using the
therapy.
whole thing as an escape.
Well, okay, so this is where I have my notes on this little a little quick note that I wanted to mention on this one because I think this is the perfect time to bring it up since you're talking about that. Is one of the things I noticed, which I thought was really cool about this episode, because Deb and Dexter both clearly are suffering from last season. Okay, like whether it be Deb up and breaking up with Dexter, however you want to put it in this weird situation, but then Deb also dealing with the consequences of killing LaGuardia and her own issues. But we have both of them essentially, and I have it in my notes as they're both living on the edge. So Dexter is it's not a big issue. I don't know if you have other notes on it or not. So I'm sorry if I'm stepping on your feet on this one, but when he like chases down the guy, it's after this scene, but he like chases down the guy because he like cuts him off and he like gets in his face and stuff like that. That's not something Dexter would normally do. Like, one, you can get caught, like the cops may get called on you and shit like that. Like, why are you doing that? Two, Deb not only and this is a little thing. Not only is Deb like snorting coke in a private hotel, the sketchiest of private hotels and stuff like that,
Listening to
with this
Pitbull.
guy, listening to Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide. So not only is she doing that, but when she walks in this store, did you notice what the first thing she did when she walked in the store was?
I love it. I love it so
She
much.
just grabs a beer and drinks it. Not only is that badass, like that's a badass move that you're doing it. You down in a beer, cowboy cold, okay? But not only that, she's doing it and then walking around the store. You're asking to get caught. Like, you're just asking for it. Like, both of these people, as one of them said, I think in this episode, or maybe it was the next one, they're burning the candle on both ends at this point. Like, you don't give a shit. Neither one of them does. And I think that them in this store is the perfect point of that, because you have two just harsh personalities that are going through some shit, having an argument in the cereal aisle. Like, why? Like, that was my big note on this part. I love it. Like, I really like this scene. Like, I really like this store scene.
Yeah, and like you said, is Deb escaping and then like actually seeing Dexter, because even like her first thing is like, what the fuck are you doing, right? I actually have a clip of that I want to play because I found any time she talked in this episode fascinating. This is basically explaining how much and why she hates Dexter.
And I really don't want a fucking seat.
Why?
Why? Because you made me compromise everything about myself that I care about. And I hate you for it.
No, you don't.
I shot the wrong person in that trailer. And I really don't
God
want
damn it!
fucking
I gotta
seat.
figure out this soundboard, man. I'm sorry.
What's that?
That's pretty crazy. First of all, to be like, I shot the wrong person, and even like, dude, oh man, this is like a whole nother thing I could talk about for hours. I could hate you because like you made me, like, we got into a fight about money, and I guess this is more like maybe like boyfriend girlfriend stuff. Like, you cheated on me, you whatever, you stole my wife, you stole my husband. When she boils the hate down to, you made me like compromise everything about myself, that is gut wrenching. That's like, I fucking sacrificed who I am as a person for you. And there's something later in the hotel which we'll get to. That hate is like, it's not hate like again, like I'm repeating myself. It's not hate because like you cheated on me, you stole from me. It's like fucking in your guts, in your fucking large
This
intestine.
is like something like,
yeah.
I fucking hate
Yeah.
you. Like, that's all you can say.
I
fucking hate you.
shot the wrong person. I should have shot, like, you know what I mean? That's just part of like,
Yeah.
crazy. when that guy cuts off Dexter and strangles that guy, and if you're friends with Marissa on Facebook or any social media, start pressuring her, because I would like to get her on one of these episodes, because she was watching, and when that guy like gets out of the Dexter and starts strangling him, Marissa just literally was like, "Yep, that's the most Florida thing ever." But I thought it was pretty funny. I was like, "Oh yeah." So, so I guess it could get a little confusing because there's a lot of new names being thrown around. Basically, we have Briggs, who's a fence, and he's going to sell this jewelry to El Sapo, who's actually going to murder Briggs because he stole it from the wrong store. Briggs did. Mm-hmm. Dexter knows this, but Deb doesn't, and Dexter's going to go and try and save Deb. Mm-hmm. Do you know what El Sapo means? It's actually really funny.
Actually, no.
Sapo means toad.
Okay.
So every time they say El Sapo, me and Marissa were just going, the toad.
You say this is the toad then, right?
Yeah.
The toad.
So Dexter comes to this.
How did you get that nickname?
Yeah, how do you get that nickname? Like, is it like? Yeah, I can't even like come up with.
It's just some guy that has like a weird tick where every time he's like doing something, he's like, yeah. This is where the visual part at least comes into play.
I know you're listening to this episode in your car and you're wondering, what did Colton do? That's why you go to youtube.com. It's not youtube.com/DiggingDexter. It's Digging Dexter on YouTube, and find out what face or action or tongue motion did Colton do to replicate El Sapo. That's a good part to clip.
I'm just gonna randomly do that from now on in this thing. So then there was other.
It's a good thing too because it's seamless. You can't tell. Dexter goes to Deb's hotel, and Briggs is about to make the sale to El Sapo, and they basically get into a. Briggs saw Dexter before. Kind of like, who is this guy? Fuck off, whatever. But then back at the hotel, this is a lot more personal. Like, hey, what are you doing? By the way, same hotel in season 1 of Dexter, where that weird ice truck killer guy with the fingers and the cameras, the fake ice truck killer, where he had his woman tied up from season 1. Anyways, so Dexter comes and is like, hey, I'm here to save you. Fucking come with me. And this is after doing this whole search, right? Kind of calling Quinn, going to Quinn's house.
Right.
And then he takes, and again, this is, I guess, some of why they wanted to bring Harrison, but you know how crazy it is that, did you read the chat? That's actually a really good line.
No, I didn't know.
That is, this is why I can't do the chat and whatever, because I'm like losing, I read the chat.
Ribbon. That's good.
So everyone knows, Sean just said he's a riveting character. Totally lost my train of thought. Dexter going everywhere. Oh, you even see a lot of the frustration when Harrison's in his work office and he fucking knocks over something that was LaGuardia's, and Dexter freaks out on Harrison in a really scary way.
Yeah.
Dexter's clearly losing it. He's running around town with Harrison in the car. He fucking, you want to talk about good father, bad father, whatnot. He fucking goes to a hotel to save his sister with Harrison.
Sketchy hotel.
Yes.
Pitbull snorting coke hotel. Okay, let's be real. This is not just like hey, she's hauled up in the Holiday Inn or a Hilton Express or some shit. This is... That's all I'm gonna say.
I think it's the pink motel, but regardless, like, yeah, it's. Clearly this is where Briggs is holed up, and where, like you said, Deb's. I don't know what's worse, doing coke or listening to Pitbull, but she's clearly like out of it. I like Pitbull. I don't mind him. So when he comes here to save her, and Deb's like, "Fucking no, get away from! Like, you're the problem." Something I've always like I always say, I even said at the beginning of this episode, I always want Dexter to suffer some of the consequences for what he does, and I love how much Deb exposes him for how much he manipulated her. This is the clip that I wanted to play that really made me like almost like, you ever see the Dr. Phil gif when he's like,
Yeah.
that's this clip I'm gonna play here because I just love the way Deb says it.
All my life I thought I needed you, that I couldn't survive without you. Fuck. It was the other fucking way around.
I guess I had more to that, but I don't. Yeah, that part too. Like, this whole time, Deb was like, I need Dexter. Yeah, it's actually pretty crazy. Like, from the fucking start, season 1, episode 1, it was the other way around. Like, and now, look how crumbled Dexter's world is without Deb. You know, he's fucking killing people with her son in his car. The son goes missing in the parking lot. Something interesting. The last sound clip I wanted to play was there is a. I'm gonna play a clip that's from the montage in the beginning, and from at the end, and he talks about a better person would feel bad about LaGuerta's death, and then he mentions what he says about Deb.
A better person would feel bad about LaGuerta's death. A better person would let her go, but I don't know how.
Obviously, talking about Deb. Yeah, just when I heard a better person, I was like, oh wait, those two clips.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't catch that. That's good.
Dexter stabbing Briggs is pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Did you get? Go ahead.
He tries to do the classic, like. So this is a whole serial killer thing too. I don't know. Like I say this, it's from other podcasts I listen to. I listen to a couple different true crime podcasts and stuff like that. I think I've mentioned it on here before, where a lot of serial killers, their first kill is accidental, right? Like they don't mean to kill the person. Supposedly, there's a lot of examples of that. And that's kind of what it is in this situation, where he doesn't mean to kill him. Dude, you meant to kill him. Like, stop.
Wait, does Dexter say that? I didn't mean to kill him?
No, I feel like they were. I feel like they were trying to show that like it was kind of an accidental, but it also wasn't. Like I actually think it was a really good job that they were doing on it, where I don't think he went there with the intention to kill Briggs, right? That wasn't his goal, was to kill Briggs, but he also ended up killing him. I think he also kind of wanted to kill Briggs. Like that's what I'm meaning.
Interesting. I never even thought twice about it. I think Dexter never meant to kill Briggs. He didn't go there to kill him. But I think his entire world is flipped upside down with this thing happening with Deb and a little bit of what happened with Vogel, that it didn't matter who was in that room, they were going to get it. Like, just so frustrated. Anyone who... Because he just flipped out at Harrison, and I don't think he would have killed Harrison, but he was clearly one of the most frustrated, angry we've ever seen him in all 8 seasons.
The only person that was going to be in that room was Deb or... him.
No,
he's not killing Deb.
right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he went there with the intent. Okay, maybe I'm being confused. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Like I said, I don't think he got in that. He didn't get out of that van, leave Harrison in the van, going into that tow room, going in his mind, going, I'm gonna kill whoever's in there. But he was also thinking that, like I think it was both emotions is what I'm trying to get out on in that one.
Yeah,
and. Again, I think it's not a complaint. It's a good writing and it's a good acting on Michael C. Hall's part. That's why I'm bringing it up. That I thought that was just a really well done part.
After he stabbed her, I just felt like, the same way like a boyfriend tries to get back a girlfriend, and it's just like, it was so cringy. Like Dexter trying so hard to get Deb back, and then like stabbing and killing him, and it's like, God, what are you doing? Like, Dexter, fucking stop, leave her alone, get out of there. Like, it hurt me to watch Dexter try so hard to like try this hard and fail so miserably. You know what I mean? Just sort of like, we broke up because whatever, and then it's like, I'm gonna come back with an engagement ring and a really huge proposal with like lights and fireworks and stuff, and it's like no.
That'll win them. Yeah, that'll win them over.
I don't think you understand. I think you're fucking ugly. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, oh, don't do the ring, don't buy the suit and whatever. It just kind of it like hurt me to see that. But Dexter leaves off, and we get the scene into Vogel, which we talked about, whatever. And I only have one more episode note. If you have anything else on this episode.
It's just the teddy bear, because that does come back. I don't know if that's your note, and I'm sorry if it is.
It comes back?
The teddy bear with the blood on it, remember?
Oh, in this episode?
Yeah. No. Later on, I just wanted to like bring that up, like the teddy bear, because Harrison went missing because he couldn't find his teddy bear, and isn't that this one, or am I getting mixed up? I very well.
I think Dexter's washing it in the. To my memory, Dexter is washing it in his sink in his. Mm-hmm. room in his house
in like 3 or 4 episodes.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yep. It'll come back. It'll come back. Good call. Yep.
I just wanted to bring that up, that like with the teddy bear, like
good call.
Which is a nice little thing. They added that in here. That's kind of we brought it up a little bit earlier. It's Dexter and Breaking Bad are nothing alike, but this is kind of almost a Breaking Bad little thing where it's like, oh, nice little touch there.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of a.
Yep.
Yeah. That's all.
Somewhat episode related, probably not episode related. We always talk about bad 80 movies, and if anyone in chat, have you ever seen Night of the Creeps?
No.
Is that his name? Tom Atkins? Is he the creepy, funny 80s actor from Halloween 3? Yes, Tom Atkins. So Night of the Creeps is a pretty popular cult, terrible 80s movie. It's about zombies and whatnot.
Okay.
In it, Tom Atkins... Every time he answers and if you look up Tom Atkins, you'll know exactly who he is. Every time he answers the phone, he goes, "Thrill me, thrill me," and it's hilarious because he picks up the phone and he's one of these like he's smoking a cigarette and he's like, "Well, I'll blow them all to hell with my whatever." And it's just a stupid movie, but anyways.
I know Tom Atkins.
Yes,
okay.
Every time he answers the phone, he gets "Thrill me." In this episode, Quinn, when he picks up the phone, he goes, "Thrill me." So I was like. That's a pretty specific thing. Now, I know one of the writers of the show, Scott Reynolds, is huge into like cult horror movies. I have to imagine that is a, he must have been watching the movie the night before and just threw it into the script.
Either that or the guy that plays Quinn is huge and the actor is huge into like that stuff. I mean, that's the only other option. Yeah. Because you're right. That's a very specific thing. I didn't even catch that. Yeah. So.
Do you ever see?
I need to watch that movie.
Oh, you never seen it?
I've never even heard of it, actually.
It starts.
And I'm into all that.
That's what I'm saying.
Shit,
I thought you would have known what this is. I'll try and clip it. I'll try and clip it because I have the movie Night of the Creeps. So that ends it for me. I got nothing else. Colton, you got anything else?
No.
Much like Colton said last episode, we're not necessarily. We aren't asking anyone for money. We're probably never going to do a Patreon or anything, but.
No.
If at the very least you could subscribe to our YouTube, like Colton said last episode, throw us a review on iTunes. Do it whatever you want it to be. If it's 5 stars, we appreciate it. If it's 1 star, we hope you drink bleach. Anything, even whatever. Like us on our social medias. We're at Diggin' Podcast on YouTube and Twitter. Colton's at Bootlegging.
Bootlegging, a Boardwalk Empire podcast is what it is. My Instagram is still, I think it's Bootlegging Podcast. I am working. I mentioned it earlier when Shauna had made a comment. I am working on another podcast. I don't like to bring it up right now because I'm just a lazy son of a bitch, and I'm hoping to get it out. Like if I do, before this is over with, I will definitely bring it up then. For if y'all happen to like to listen to me. You can listen to it. But for right now, if you happen to like Boardwalk Empire and you have some free time between listening to Dexter, check us out. It was a lot of fun. It was my first podcast. So, yeah.
Yeah, and let's get on Colton. He's at bootlegging.podcast on Instagram. And just send him disgusting stuff until he starts his other podcast. I can't even say the stuff I want to say. I'll find a way to get people to get on you. But yes, we're not asking for any money. We're not asking for anything. We just want to grow this community a little bit, especially because we assume the community is going to get a little bit bigger once the new season comes around. So whatever, if it's subscribing to us on YouTube, anyone, and you guys know who you are. Like, if you're listening to this and you're like, is he what talking about me? If you like our post, if you comment on our shit, basically everyone in the chat, like, you guys are the golden grail of the Dig and Dexter community. So I appreciate you guys. But if you're an outside listener, just sort of whatever, tuning in, just again, rate us wherever. Just trying to grow a little bit. That's all. That's why we started doing the streaming. We're going to start streaming all our episodes. Just trying to do a little bit more with the podcast.
Well, we still have a plan on doing a special episode. We'll get to that hopefully here soon, where we want to do, like I said, kind of think about it. We're going to post it in a little bit, but we're trying to talk about either doing a special episode with American Psycho or a special episode with Mr. Brooks. We don't want to do both. That's why we kind of want to make it fun. Like, it's you only get one. I have my vote. I know Victor has his vote on it, but we obviously don't. Our opinions don't matter on it. We want the fans to do it, so we'll be posting that. So something to kind of be thinking about on what you would like to listen to us talk about.
Absolutely. And with that being said, we will talk to you, I don't know, tomorrow, next week, tomorrow, the day before, yesterday, to do episode 2, Every Silver Lining. We will talk to you later.
Sounds good.
So I stopped the Zencaster stream.
Okay.
But obviously we are still in the live stream. I need a second, and then I can come back to the chat. What?
I'll just comment on with Sean. He has a Patreon. At least that's what I'm assuming. It sounds like from this way he says it makes him feel dirty. But we can always do Victor's OnlyFans. So I agree. We could do an OnlyFans. I think we actually joked about doing an OnlyFans at one point for our podcast.
Hey, Colton.
I'm almost positive I'm really getting brought up.
Regarding babies, if I say guess what, do you know what to respond to that?
Guess what, chicken butt?
Yeah. Oh, so you do know about it.
Gracie has a onesie. It's guess what, and then the back of it is a chicken on her butt.
So that's so funny. Roxanne got Maurice a onesie. That's that. Guess what? In the back, chicken butt. I never knew about it.
That's awesome. What?
I know. So I get it, and we got it in the mail, and I was like, this is cool. I don't get it. You know.
Well, okay.
So Marissa knew all about it, and I had no idea.
Well, okay. What does Marissa know it from?
Oh, that's a good. No, I don't know. She's weird. Who knows?
I only know about it from. Does she happen to like King of the Hill?
No.
Oh, okay. See, I love King of the Hill, and there was a character in King of the Hill that he would just go around all the time. Like, he was just like stoner guy. I can't remember his name. Like, he kind of was a stoner guy, but every time like he was like working, he would be like slacking and stuff, and somebody would be like, "Dude, just go and do this." And he's like, "Huh?" He's like, "Guess what?" And they're like, "What?" He's like, "Chick butt," and they just walk away. So that's what I know it from. No. I think it's funny. Yeah.
I've never heard of it in my life. Oh, where's the soundboard? Digging.
Okay, he has been living under a rock.
Yeah, I've never heard it before, and Maurice finally fit into it, and oh yeah, see, I think I could do this here. Let's try this here live because this is really funny. Let's see if we could all watch a video together here. I would love to try and do a watch party for an episode, but the amount of work that this took me to get here. Colton, are you watching the stream, or do you not have a way to watch the stream?
No, I can pull it up on my phone. Give me just a second.
Oh, Roxanne, that's just mad funny. No, I'm not able to. If you search Craig Chicken Butt, it's 50 seconds. Roxanne sent it to me. It's the fucking funniest thing ever. I thought I was gonna be able to embed it in here, but I have too much going on with my computer.
Oh.
It's 50 seconds.
What's it called?
I'll send it to you.
Oh, I was like, I'll look it up right now.
Craig, guess what, chicken butt. I know, ads.
Ads all the time.
This is terrible for the stream.
This is
Whoever's watching. Oh shit, that's so funny.
famous. I
So-
remember him from
so
Vine or something like
Roxanne's
that, right?
Roxanne's saying it's Kyle Dunnigan. Is that a popular comedian? I haven't heard of him. He looks familiar.
He looks. I'm almost positive I remember that character or something like that on like Vine or something. I just don't remember. That's funny. That is really funny.
Yay, chicken butt.
Yay, you got it. Flashing the lights.
Shit.
That was really funny, actually.
I need 1 second. Give me a second.
That's good.
Hey, are you still there? Yep, you're still there.
Yeah.
If you want to have a post-production meeting on air, I don't know if I could do 2 of these back to back. Can you? I was getting
No,
confused
not like,
too
not
much.
Like we were just
I get
not like
confused.
what we were just doing. There's no way.
Yeah.
No, we'll have to do episode either. I'm telling you, I want to say later on, maybe, because I want to say some of the episodes start getting where it's just like, look, let's just do 2. We could talk about everything all in one. But
We
there's
were
no way
able to
episode 1 and
perfectly
2
do it with the last episodes of season 7. If anyone's still with us on the live stream, me and Colton were going to do 2 episodes tonight back to back, and as we got a little bit closer, I got a little scared of doing 2. I did my notes for 2, but I think you could hear it in me. I got confused so much because I wanted to talk about, because Vogel gets all explained in the second episode. There's some great Vogel and Dexter conversation, and it's impossible to talk about when you see like the first episode, whatever.
Yeah.
So even getting towards that, like right now, we would be like resetting to do second episode, whatever. Yeah.
It'd be another hour. We'd be talking for another hour. Almost.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah. I think it's too much.
I can't.
So
I couldn't do it.
yeah, I think we'll have to regroup and then whatever.
Well, there's just, and it's not a complaint. And this is not a complaint at all. It's just when we're doing it live like this with y'all. I love doing this live. Like, I actually really like doing the streaming, but it's looking at the chat, looking at everything, not just talking. Because if we're just doing just the recording, me and Victor can go off script for a little bit or something and be like, oh well, we can edit.
I'll
we
cut
can still
that.
edit
Right.
this,
Right.
I'll cut this or whatever. We're doing it live. It's a lot more. But I don't want to not go. I don't want to not.
I'd
the
rather do
streaming.
12 live episodes,
Yeah.
and as opposed to like trying to do. We were gonna do 2 episodes for a total of like 6 sessions, 2 episodes per session. But yeah, I think it's too much.
It's a lot.
It
'cause
suffered.
it's
Some of
just
this
a lot.
episode suffered thinking about the second like I wish I never watched it because I was getting too confused in my head.
But now that we know, like, if this is what we're gonna do, it'll be good from here on out. I think.
And maybe we don't have to do. Is Sunday night the only night you're good to record?
No, I can do. I can honestly do any night. I just need to know
You
a
just need
little
time
bit ahead of time.
Okay.
Ahead of time, just because then I know that I have to tell Meg, like, hey, you're in charge of Grace for this time period.
Right.
So that way it's not like, because we switch back and forth on who puts them down, who
Yeah.
plays with, who puts her down and switches and things like that. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing.
Yeah, I guess same with me, and then I like at least putting out a little bit of a notice. I guess I'm the same way. As long as I don't get slammed at work, I can pretty much record any night. Um, but yeah, and I don't know if we want to run into that thing where we're trying to catch up to record, but
Mm, we did that on season.
I think both season 6 and 7 we were trying to
Yeah,
like
that was
rush.
getting that
Season
was
7
getting
we
rough.
started like yeah we were recording we
We
were
were. I don't know how we did that. I don't know how we did that.
yeah I was telling Marissa I don't know how you fucking came home from the hospital with Grace and recorded a podcast, bro. It took me 7 months to get to this point where I was finally able to be like, all right,
Well,
the kid's
okay.
in bed, Marissa's here.
I took a month off from work
Oh,
because
okay.
yeah, I took a month. I don't know how these parents, especially dads, I don't know, and moms especially, like the moms that don't get maternity leave and stuff like that, and then dads that don't get anything. Like, how do you come home from the hospital and 3 days later you're back at work? Like, I don't understand how that happens. Like I'm lucky the company I work for gives paid paternity leave for dads. They give us 4 weeks. I took an additional week of my own time, so I had a whole 5 weeks off. Weeks 1, 2, and 3, I was a zombie. I was like, how do people work? Like, there's no way. I'd be like laying on the couch and be like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm sitting there. She's wide awake. I'm playing with her. Then she finally goes to sleep at 9. I fall asleep at 9 and I wake up at noon,
Yeah.
and then I'm awake until 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, I don't. I salute to everybody that has done that. Like, seriously.
Yeah, no, I'm 1,000% with you. I'm yes. Like
That
I
was like
know.
3 months into it. We were kind of in a schedule at that point where I was like, I need to record a podcast. Like, I need to get some adult. I need to get some adult time because it was just us here. You know, it's just us with Grace, and it's just like I need some adult time. I need to
Yeah, that's
get a little
true.
bit of an escape. And how our setup is, it's kind of cool. Like, I mean, I'm in like in our dining kitchen area. We have the living room there, um, and then upstairs we have the 2 rooms. So
Quick question, Colton. Can you go to your Zencaster? Is it telling you to do anything? No, right?
oh yeah, it is.
Oh, what is it saying to do?
Your files. Oh, your files have finished uploading, and then it's telling me about like something about creating an account with them. No thanks.
Okay.
Um, MP3 or Wave. It's telling me to download.
Yeah, not download. I can't download the soundboard, which I guess I get added in post production. That's just fucking annoying.
Hmm, that's weird.
Okay, I was just seeing if it was asking you to do anything.
No. Yeah, it was telling me to like get a membership or something like that. And then Zoom's telling me in an ad about 40-minute limit. Suckers.
Yeah, suckers. Once the day this goes down, it's all gonna go downhill. But what did Sean say? I used to work third shift. Now I work almost every damn day until 1 in the morning because I hate myself. Yeah, I know what that's like.
What time do you go in, Sean? Like, I'm actually here because I used to work. Okay, so I used to work the worst experience of my life working. While Sean answers in on this, the worst experience of my life whenever I was working was when I worked Monday through Friday. I worked Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Right, and then Saturdays, because of the job that I did, I had to work Saturdays as well. Okay, then I also was a security guard for this open building. It was just like an empty building. They were waiting to have people come in, and I had to work from there from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Right, and so I had to do my other job because that one was flexible from 6 p.m. until like 9 p.m. give or take. I could do that, right? So without going into too much detail, well, for extra money, because I was an idiot and I was like, I can do this. I'm 25. I'm amazing, right? My security job was like, hey, we have some extra hours where all you need to do is just sit in a parking lot from midnight until 6 a.m. And it's only going to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I was like, hell yeah, that's easy. I can do that. So I would go home 5 o'clock, do my dumbass commute back to my apartment. Took me an hour. I would get home at like 6, fall asleep from 6 until 11, wake up at 11, go and work from midnight until 6 a.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Did that for 6 months.
Oh my god.
Worst moments. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, yeah, because then I'd get off at 6, go back to my apartment, take a shower, get dressed, then go to work. I had to be at work at 8. I was sitting there. What I did for my lunch breaks on Wednesdays and Fridays is I had a I don't know if you know trucks really or not. I had a Sierra at that time, a GMC Sierra, and the back of it was like a bench seat. And so what I would do is I would go out into the parking lot, turn on my truck, and so for 45 minutes I would just lay in the back seat and fall asleep. Well, it's like Texas summer, even if you have the AC
Oh
going,
god.
I'd be like drenched, and so I'd wake up and I'd be like, oh god, I was like, oh, but I feel so good. Hey, what you doing? Oh, thank you. What, you want to say hi? Oh, you say hi. We're done with the recording. You say hi. You wait. You say hi.
Oh, hey Grace.
You say hi. What? You wait. Yeah, it's 10:14. I don't know why you're awake. Gracie, you blow kisses and say bye-bye. Aww. Mwah. Yeah.
Mwah.
You said bye-bye?
Bye,
Okay.
Grace.
Okay, good job. You're so sweet. Uh-oh, you're getting all tangled. There you go. Don't say until 1 in the morning. The dumb thing is we did it because we run yeah, that's exactly what I was like. I don't know why I did that type of job. And it wasn't because I wasn't even getting overtime. That was the thing. Like, it wasn't like I got overtime for doing that because it was a second job.
Yep. Well, what do you think? Should I try and get this episode out for tomorrow? Well, tonight?
That's up to you. If you think you can do it.
I gotta see what this Zencaster's all different now. I think they put everything in together for you. I don't know. I guess I'll see how far I get tonight.
Because if you have to add in that soundboard, then that's a lot of extra work. So that's up to you.
Usually the soundboard, if it plays too much, I just have to cut, silent the track. But I don't know. I'll figure it out. I guess we'll talk then when we want to do 2.
Okay.
Depending on how you feel.
I'm like I said, I'm fine to do it tomorrow. I'm fine to do it next week. Like, you just need to let me know.
Okay.
That's all. Like what you would like to do.
Yeah. Sean, Roxanne, everyone else in the chat, we super appreciate you joining with us tonight. There should be about 11 more of these plus the new season, so 11 plus 10. There should be at least 21 more. We're going to do this 21 more times. Probably won't be as long as this, but it's definitely super cool doing it while recording the podcast, and we'll adjust to be a little bit better while recording and doing that. So yeah. All right, that's it for me, Colton.
All right, that's it for me.
All right, let's close everything out. The